Morning, everyone. It is Friday, February 12th, 2016, and this is Gersh's Gaming Diamond or Ragequit. Alright, it's a couple of days before Valentine's Day, snow is on the ground, love is in the air, and I have had a pretty terrible week on StarCraft. I think I've played 5 games on the ladder and won one of them this week. And then I'm going to show you a couple of excerpts from a series of games that I played against a friend of mine trying to figure something out. And I haven't figured it out yet, which is very frustrating. I've got some ideas, but I don't have it figured out. So let's just start straight into the game. See if we can maybe find some solution here. So I'm going to start with the ladder game that precipitated this. I'm going to keep it on the Gersh cam, not lock it on camera, but go kind of quickly. Alright, so this is a PvP game. Today is all about PvP and dealing with early pressure. So, you see I'm doing my normal thing that I'm doing on PvP, where I go Nexus first, and then start the gateway, and then the idea is to go Nexus, Gate, Gas, get a Cyber Core, get a Stargate, and basically open Phoenix. Alright, so I'm going to go, well, I'm not going to go back. So when I scouted, I did take a look, and I saw he's got a gateway, 2 gateways, and a cybernetics core, and no second. So I'm thinking, awesome, I'm winning, because I already have my natural up. I'm going to go transfer a bunch of probes, and I'm going to start mining, and I'm going to have tons of money, and then I'm going to totally crush him with my superior income. That's the plan. And right around the 3.5 minute mark, 2 adepts come in. And so far, 8 workers killed. I have an adept here that I'm not using, apparently. 10 workers killed. You can see this is just very downhill. And just as I finish that attack, here come 2 more adepts, 3 more adepts. I've now got 2. I kill 2 of them. You look at the workers killed count, up to 25. Guys, I'm down to 16 probes.
Successful.
And here comes 2 more adepts, an immortal.
I'm here, Shadow.
Yeah. There goes the mothership core as another push of stalkers comes in. And that's game. Alright, early pressure. I've been saying for a while, goodness, the builds that I'm pursuing, I'm going to have trouble with early pressure. I did not think I would have that much trouble with early pressure. Holy moly. So, I did what I've been... my strategy has been whenever I've encountered something like this. You guys remember several episodes ago, we took a look at Zergling rushes, right? That was one of the first things that we talked about in the game on Diamond or Ragequit, was dealing with Zergling rushes. And I said, alright, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to practice and practice and practice until I get it. So, this is practice game. So, my buddy here executes the adept push about as well as my opponent did in this game. So you see I scout, same thing, gate, core. Alright, here comes my second Nexus, I get the probes transferred, my cyber core is going down, And he's got his little scout probe. And right around here, I'll slow it down. And here we are. Okay, now, when the two adepts pop into my base, there's a lot of moves that all need to happen at the same time. And I, to be honest, I just don't think I have sufficient actions per minute to do them all really efficiently. So the first thing, I'm actually going to slow it down as far as I can and kind of go play by play as to what needs to happen versus what is actually happening. So, first thing is you've got to get the probes out of there because they're dying.
Glory.
Second thing is I overcharged this pylon, and maybe I need to change the pylon placement because the adepts are able to just walk out of range, and then the pylon's ineffective. So maybe the pylon needs to go, like, here? So at this point, I need to have pulled the probes off the mineral line. I'm not. Now, at this point, he's using psionic transfer to move his adepts up to my main. Now, let me explain this ability real quick, in case anyone's unfamiliar. What psionic transfer does is you send an immortal ghost that can attack, but that can move fast, faster than the adept can on its own. The ghost is heading up here, but until the timer runs out on the ghost, the adept here can still move and attack completely as normal, and you can independently control these ghosts. So, right now, it's two adepts attacking, and I'm defending with Mothership Core and one adept. Here's the problem. He can cancel this ability if he doesn't want to teleport up here, which means he'd be right back down here where my probes are. So, do I send my defenses up here to defend where the shades are going to appear, or do I have to stay down here? And I think part of the answer is I have to send my own shade to kind of chase along with these guys of my adepts. Now, if I can kill this guy before his shade timer expires, no. So you can see his shade, it's about to expire, my shade chasing it, it's not going to get there in time. His shade appears, there's some control issues, my shade gets here. There's a lot of very, very precise control that needs to happen. And it's easy to kind of Monday morning quarterback after this and be like, oh, I should have shaded before, and da-da-da, but nah. Now, at the same time, he's not been idle. This isn't just a 2-adept push. This is continuing to push and do it off of one base, I might add. So now, just as things are maybe starting to get back to normal on my natural, 2 more adepts come in. My force is completely out of position because I'm killing off the last adept he has. I notice I try and come back down with my adept, and my Mothership Core have to again pull the probes off. The Mothership Core, because of the nerf in Photon Overcharge, I can no longer empower this pylon. I don't shade, am I going to be able to kill this guy in time? And really, there's no excuse for me not to shade and follow. That's a definite piece of it, because if I manage to kill him before his shade expires, I can still cancel mine. Alright, so, at this point, let's take a look at a couple of indices. So in terms of workers, I ended up only being 2 behind, because remember, one of the key pieces of this build is you're sacrificing your own economy in order to do this. So he's on 2 so I'm on 2 bases, he's on 1. I'm just 2 probes behind. It doesn't look that bad, right? Except there's one problem, and that is his army supply is larger than mine. He's got 3 adepts. He's got better infrastructure now because he's got the Robo Bay. He's got 2 gateways with Warp Gate. My Warp Gate just finished. And here he comes with suddenly a much larger army because he was able to warp in, and he's walking back across the map again. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to get my economy back up and running. He's making a Warp Prism at this point as his natural gets up and running. So I'm going to fast forward it here, and basically, despite the fact that I'm now ahead of him on probes, Adepts can outmaneuver Stalkers, but Stalkers will kill Adepts, I think. Actually, come to think of it, I'm not... Let's take a look at this. Yeah, I think Stalkers will kill Adepts. Because against Armored, which is what the Stalkers are, Adepts only deal 10 damage. The Stalkers are dealing 10 damage back, except their fire speed is a lot better. So Stalkers are going to kill Adepts. He's got a much larger army here. Actually, I guess it's about the same until his Immortal gets there. But the Immortal kind of gets here. He's able to push in, and not to mention he's continuing to make units and push in, and I'm very much on the defensive. And it's over. So, after iterating on this over and over and over again, I think 7 games total, I said, you know what? I can't get my defenses up and running fast enough by going Nexus first. And that first building you make, whether it's Gateway, Nexus, whatever it is, actually I think those are really your only 2 options, unless you're cannon rushing, in which case you can go Forge first. Anyway, the point is, on an open map, where you don't have a protected natural, which is like Laralac Crest, like Prion Terraces, these maps that we're looking at, I said, I cannot get defenses out fast enough. I can't have more than 1 Adept and 1 Mothership Core by the time you attack. And I don't have... I mean, I have to admit, I don't have the micro skill to be able to deal with 2 Adepts with just 1 and a Mothership Core. So I said, I have to change my build. So against PvP, at this point, I'm doing Gateway first. Gate, Gas, Expand, Core, Gas, Gate. Is what I decided on. And to be honest, that's not working well either. So let's see what happens in this game. Whoops, keeping it on the Gersh cam. Alright, so here we go. Gate, Gas, Expand. If we check in on the Everyone cam, you see he's not taking the early Expand. Again, Gate, Core, and he's gotten really good at this point. I see Gate, Core. Okay, I know early pressure is coming. Okay. And if this rush goes off pretty much without a hitch, it arrives right at around the 3-minute mark. So I'm going to slow it down to regular speed. Here we go. Okay, so Shade going to the main. Primary Adepts going to the natural. I have 1 more Adept that's about to pop out. I have another Gateway under construction. My Mothership Core just popped with just enough energy to do 1 Photon Overcharge. Again, we're going to go down to super slow speed. Do I chase the Shades, or do I chase the actual Adepts? Here I chased the Shade. Again, should have shaded myself. He cancels the Shade, just goes after my probes.
The firstborn shall persevere.
So coming in to defend, this should be an easy defense, right? 2 Adepts versus Mothership Core. I've got to do my own Shade. I need to do the Shade. There it goes. About 5 seconds late. I figure my 2 adepts can handle his. And again, it's just unit control. You see that right now, this adept is moving along with these probes. This adept isn't moving. More probes are dying. I need to shade again. I need to shade again. Alright, managed to take him out. There's another adept here. I don't see it yet. Here comes the second one. This is just so rough in terms of the unit control.
Research complete.
Glory to the
This
King.
one, this goes a bit better. At this point, I'm down 8 workers. He's killed 13. But I'm still alive? Maybe? He pulls back with the last 2 adepts, maybe seeing that I have 2. Maybe part of it is I need to stop him here. I now have 3 adepts to his 2. I don't know. This is still tough. I get my Stargate down. And here we go again, right? Pull the workers off the line. And I don't know. I'm trying to find a solution that's not, I just need to be better at this, right? But I think a large piece of it is I'm just lacking the good unit control that's needed to defend against these adepts. And now there's an immortal here, so I'm behind on technology. It's the 5-minute mark. I've just gotten my Stargate up. No Oracle. No Phoenix. Amazingly, I've kind of recovered on probes. That was at least a fight between armies. So, I don't know. I'm going to fast forward this game. He basically has a proxy warp prism. I kind of scout it, try to build up as many defenses as I can, but ultimately, despite my best efforts, I get killed. See, look at me dying, look at all the things dying. So, bottom line is, guys, I don't know. A big piece of it's unit control. And being able to get the mothership core and the adepts and the probes all moving to exactly the right place at exactly the right time. And also, to be completely honest, this friend of mine, Zemfar, has much better unit control than I do. That's one of the reasons why he's so effective against me, is that his micro is better than mine, and pretty much always has been. I'm a little better than him on macro, he's a little better than me on micro. In a normal game, when we're sparring against each other, it's pretty even. Now, better unit control, part of it just comes with practice. But maybe all of it comes with practice? I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something strategically that I'm missing here as well. And over this week, I'm trying to do a deep dive into... I'm going to download some like Grandmaster replays off of GG Tracker and try and see how top players open in Protoss versus Protoss. Especially if they're trying to open air, like if they go fast air, because I still want to go fast air against other Protoss, because, well, to be completely honest, because I think it's fun, because my unit control has gotten a little bit better in terms of managing like Blink Stalkers plus Phoenix plus Zealots, you know, kind of thing. And I liked the transition to carriers when I did that a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure I showed you guys that game, but it totally happened where I did a transition to carriers and I won, and it was fun. Carrier, Carrier Archon, Archon Zealot, things like that. Air is fun to me as Protoss, so I want, and I know that Skytoss is a viable strategy, so I want to keep focusing on that. But this early pressure is only going to get more pressuring as I rank up, right? So I have to deal with it now, or I'm going to eventually hit another plateau, right? Where I just keep on dying to the early pressure over and over and over again, and if I don't know how to deal with it, if I don't have a strategy that can at least adapt to handle early pressure when I scout my enemy and see a 2-gate open, because it'll become a 2-gate adept open, then that's a big problem. So I've got to figure this out. I'm open to any suggestions, any builds. Leave me a comment. Other than that, I hope you liked this video. Share it around. Let's kind of spread this problem outwards and see if someone can come up with a solution. That would be great, wouldn't it? Alright, that's it for today. Hope you all have a good weekend, good Valentine's Day. I'll see you all next week. Cheers.